Hey, Dad.
Yeah?
Is college required for every job?
No, it's not. In fact, in today's world, if you take a look at the top 10 jobs that millennials want, college is only required for some of them and certainly not required to make a lot of money.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
You know, in the last couple of weeks, my daughter's been peppering me with a lot of career-based questions like, do I need to go to college for this? What if I want to do that with my life? Do I need college for that? And I decided that today, I'm going to get her help in making a YouTube video based on this, the top 10 most popular jobs for millennials. We got Gen Z right around the corner, and it's the question that I seem to get all the time. It's really, what jobs are out there? Is college still required today? When should I go to college? And maybe when should I skip it? You know, a lot of my subscribers follow me because they want financial advice and they want to know, hey, Kris, I'm looking down my financial road and I'm asking myself, what does it take to become financially free? Maybe you want to be rich. Maybe you want a lazy life where you can be super comfortable.
Today I don't feel like doing anything.
Either way, you're here because you're interested in the game of money and you want to know the smartest way to play the game. And so as I did some research, I was kind of curious, what are the jobs that the millennials are all going for? Because it's going to affect Gen Z, I think. And right now, this comes from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. They've aggregated what the top 10 most popular jobs are. I think some of them are actually going to totally surprise you. And then I did some research and found out, when is it actually required to go to college for that degree? And when is there maybe a shortcut by not?
Hey, Dad, the first job is a statistician. Do I need to go to college for that?
Actually, that's a really good question. So check it out. Statisticians. I don't know what's wrong with millennials, but clearly this is one of the top jobs that they're interested in. This is an expert in the preparation and analysis of statistics. What you should be aware is that, yes, boom, you do got to go to college. You have to have a bachelor's. You may even need a master's. And the average income for this job is $81,950 a year, about $30,000 above the average college job out of college job pay. College.
Hey, Dad, the second one is bartending. Do you like it shaken or stirred?
I don't like it shaken or stirred. You know I don't drink alcohol. You better not be drinking alcohol either. By the way, I would rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy.
George, please, Jack.
Check it out. Bartending. Did you know that you do not need to go to college if you want to be a bartender? This must be a part-time statistic because literally the nationwide average, they make $20,800 a year. That is not a lot of money, maybe not the world's best career. Maybe it's a little bit of a part-time get by, bring in a little bit of extra money. But at the end of the day, I'm not a fan of working really, really hard for a very small amount of money. There are smarter ways.
Hey, Dad, the next one is a financial analyst. Dad, what is a financial analyst?
Well, Lisa, I'm glad that you asked. A financial analyst is someone that rectifies financial equations.
That's it! We're done! We're done with the butt jokes!
As in, check it out. They examine financial data and they use their findings to help companies make business decisions. Previously, you might have thought of this as like, is this an accountant? Is this like a CFO, like a certified financial officer of the company? But the reality is they're not. They literally are just analyzing the data. These are people that love spreadsheets, they love numbers, and it is going to require a bachelor's degree. And in many cases, if you want to make bigger bucks, it's also going to require an MBA. But here's the good news. The average person getting out of college is going to land a job making $50,000 a year. This one is paying an average of $81,700. One of the things that I really want you to understand is that when there's a technical component of a job, you're going to need to get some type of formal training, and college is usually where formal training occurs. It's not the only place where it occurs, but in something like that, you want to become the master of that knowledge base, and to do that, you're going to need to get a lot of education.
Hey, Dad, this one looks like it makes some pretty good money. What is an advertising and promotions manager?
Actually, it's a really good question. My team right out of the gate says you're going to need a bachelor's degree to get that, but you know what my real experience is in the game of marketing? Is you either do have the skills or you don't. And this is an opportunity for you to actually cash in and make some really big bucks by just learning the game of advertising. Check this out. Plan, direct, or coordinate advertising policies and programs to create extra interest in the purchase of a product or service. So think about this for just a moment, right? Like nothing in this world moves economically unless something is sold. And we're not just talking about salespeople like, oh, I'm selling you something, I'm selling you something, I'm selling you something. There's literally people behind that are like, hey, let's actually get a little more sophisticated. Let's plan, let's do a project where we're gonna try and move a certain number of these units, or let's pull the group together and see if we can run a special sale, or let's do a discount, or let's do like a referral program. All of that is going to help that business in theory make a lot more money. And guess what? Money flows where money comes in. And $127,000 is an indication of there's a lot more money to make. Maybe it requires a college degree, but maybe it doesn't. Because you know what? A ton of people that work in my company are really good at marketing and advertising, and many of them do not have college degrees, and they make good money like that. You know, I think a lot of millennials got raised with technology, and so it's kind of secondhand for us. We're using technology in ways that have never been done before. For Gen Z that's up and coming, look at things like TikTok. Dude, I make a ton of money on TikTok. I love teaching people how to do real estate or how to start a business or how to do different things. That technology comes back and makes me a lot of money, and guess what I got? I've got advertising and promotion managers that run that for me, and they make bank doing it. Hey, Liesel. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm learning about web developers. Tell me about them.
Well, web developers, well, I'm glad that you asked. This is actually a super popular and honestly, super important for just about every company on the planet. There was a time when we realized everyone's got to have websites, right? But like in my business, I think I've got like, I don't know, 100 different websites, and we're always creating new ones. It's a programmer who specializes in the development of web applications using a client-server model. And blah, 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 what that basically means is, dude, I use ClickFunnels for some of my stuff. There are some people that are literally using HTML and they're writing code and creating websites. You also have like Wix and a number of other companies that make it easy to do. These individuals are out there doing marketing for companies, helping them create the face of their business online. No schooling is necessary. You honestly can truly be self-taught. Average income, $66,000 a year. This is a great example of someone who's actually beating the college average and actually just creating a career out of thin air because they enjoy it.
Dad, what about EMTs?
Here we go.
An EMT. You know what? When I went to college, I originally thought I wanted to become a doctor, and part of the path to make that happen was to actually become an EMT. It stands for an emergency medical technician. Basically, when the ambulance pulls up, guess who gets out? It's the EMT. EMTs conduct basic, non-invasive interventions to help save lives and reduce harm at emergency sites. Bottom line is they're like the first responders. They're boots on the ground. When something's going wrong, they show up and they try to do a couple of things to help, and then they want to get that person to the hospital. They want to get them in front of the doctor that can do the real help. Now, by the way, college, well, kind of college, right? It's career training. It's 1 to 2 years of technical training. And then this person can make an average nationwide of somewhere around $32,000 a year. I'm not exactly sure why the pay is that low, but I've met many an EMT. And you know what? They love what they do. They love the blood and the gore, often, or saving lives or helping people or being the first responder that can make the difference whether someone lives or dies. I kid you not, I met this EMT dude, the guy, he loved the blood. He's like, oh yeah, dude, I show up and like, someone, broke their arm or they stepped into glass or their face is falling off. And I'm like, dude, you're weird. That is not me. I couldn't become a doctor because I was freaking like fainting at the sight of blood.
Oh my God. At ease.
Hey Dad, what's the difference between a physician assistant and a doctor?
Good question. They are not the same thing. A physician and a physician's assistant are two very different things. Like doctors, physicians, they go to college for many, many, many years. But did you know that there are those that literally can go to college, spend a lot less time and become a doctor's assistant or what we'll call a physician's assistant or a PA? These are medical professionals who diagnose illness, they prescribe medications, and may serve as a patient's principal healthcare provider. And guess what? With a lot less college, these individuals are now clearing that six-figure mark. They're making $101,000 a year. And there might be countries in the world where you don't have to go to college to become a doctor, but I would never want to be treated by that doctor. Hey, Liesel, what are you doing?
I am market researching. Hey Dad, what is a market researcher?
Good question. This is one of the top 10 jobs of millennials, and I think right now in our post-pandemic world has become really important because here's what they do. They are a researcher who gathers data on how to help a company market its products or services. And guess what? The world this last year has been flipped on its head, and there's a lot of companies out there that are struggling to know, how do we adjust? Everything's going virtual. How do I make my products and services available? Now, this is a really important job. It does require college, at least a bachelor's degree. And the average person leaving college in that industry is earning $62,560 a year. Got to tell you right now, that's an industry I lean on, because the more data and information I have, the better options and choices that I have in running my business successfully.
And action. Hey Dad, I've been doing a lot of the behind the scenes and camera work. Do you need to go to college for that?
Actually, that's a really good question, because most of what I do for a living requires camera operators and also video editors. And you know what? It's actually become a very, very popular and much needed trade in today's world. Most companies don't just want to put like still pictures out there. The more media, the more videos that they have out there, the better. Like, look at it this way. I got a team of people that put out 700 pieces of content each and every week across 7 different platforms. My world revolves around this. So here's what it is. Videography is the process of capturing moving images on electronic media and even streaming media. And guess what? You do not have to go to college, daughter, if you want this job. There's no schooling necessary. Doesn't mean you can't. You can go to school for film and learning how to operate cameras, but we have this other kind of university called YouTube University. And right now you're on my YouTube University channel, often learning from me about money, finance, and the way the world works. Guess what? I went to college, but am I using my degree to be a YouTuber? Nope, not at all. Literally, these people can make $59,000 a year, more than the average person leaving college. And you know what? That's a viable way to get your start in the world. And I'll also add that if you are ambitious and if you want to start your own company and get good at this, you can certainly make a lot more money than that.
Thank you, ma'am. We will get that ordered and processed for you. Sale. Hey, Dad, tell me a little bit about sales.
Gotta tell you, nothing happens in this world without something being sold. Sales is when you have someone responsible for presenting and selling products and services. And you know what? This is what all companies share in common. They are all selling products and services. And you know what? Sometimes people ask me, hey, Kris, what are some of the best paying jobs out there? Is it like the CEO? Is it the president of the company? You know, in many companies, there's someone that actually makes more money than the owner of the company. And you know who it is? It's the highest paid salesperson. Literally, this requires zero college. You don't got to go to school for it, but there is a learning curve, right? Like, you have to learn how to do it. Most people are really bad at it at first, and they have to make a sincere study of it. But I've got literally 19, 20, 21-year-olds, 22, 23-year-olds that are making multiple 6 figures. So nationwide average, $60,000 a year. But you know, sky's the limit when it comes to selling things. I'll give you a little hint. If you sell small things, you'll make little money. If you sell big things, you'll make big money. If you sell real estate, you can make huge money. If you sell Lear jets, you can make money in the millions of dollars. And so it becomes a game of confidence. If you like high energy, if you like winning the art of persuasion or convincing or helping pair up a person's needs with a really great product or service, sales is one of the most lucrative positions to be in. In fact, I always tell people, you need to make $50,000 to $100,000 more a year than whatever your expenses are. And today, we haven't seen a lot of job opportunities that'll do that. I mean, you could become a doctor, but that's not even on the top 10 list. In most of these careers, you're not gonna make enough money to invest and financially get ahead. So I always tell people, hey, you know what? It gets a bad rap because there's a stigma, there's a stereotype that if you sell something that is kind of slimy or people feel like they use car sales singing, listen, that is not the way most of the world works. If you get yourself a really nice paying job with the company's products that you feel passionate about, that you feel really good about, that you know really serve and help people, that's actually one of the highest and most lucrative paying jobs on the planet. You know, Lisa, you're only 15 years old, but think about it. You've been paid already to operate cameras at some of my live events or actually in some of my YouTube shoots. Or you take a look at the fact that for the last 2 years, you've been packaging and shipping out books. You've got thousands of dollars sitting in your bank account. You're already making smart money moves at a young age. And for you that's watching, if you are young and trying to figure out where you go from here, did you know that I'm currently hiring? I'm looking for people that I can pay 6 figures to, whether you work remote from home or whether you want to work in my professional corporate office here in Utah. I'm always hiring sales agents. Right now, I'm looking for some of the top talented individuals that want to make really good money. Last week, my top rep made $9,000 in a single week. That's double what someone makes in an entire month. And that's what I call a huge opportunity. So if you're watching this video today and you're like, wow, this was really educational and I think I'm ready for a career bump. I literally just had a guy leave a 6-figure job as an engineer to join on my sales team because he's looking to remove that ceiling that society places on most of our jobs and gives you an opportunity to really go somewhere. So if you're interested in joining my team, I've created a special little page, a video for you. Click the link below and let me share with you more about what it would look like if you join the Kris Krohn team. We'll see if it's right up your alley. Well, Lisa, did you have fun today?
Yeah,
Did you learn something new?
definitely.
And I hope you learned something new as well. We covered the top 10 most popular jobs for millennials. And on the last one, I spent a little extra time talking about sales. And I may not have sold you yet on whether that really makes sense. But if you want to see what it's really like to produce 6 figures, working remote from home, doing sales, check out this video right here. It might be right up your alley. The real word is financial analyst. But if you say, Dad, what's a financial analyst? And if you say analyst, anal means rectum, so it's where your poop comes out.
Yes, I know, I'm not stupid.
Very funny. Garrett is dying right now.